This is my Milestone 04 from my portfolio 6 for full sale. I took the scripting challenge where I wanted to create an auto rigger and also take my previous tool set and kind of condense it and make it more streamlined, a little easier to use. I did add some newer stuff than what my previous one had. So the first thing I have right here is a quick rename. I'll show you how it works. Basically, it can basically just do a find and then just do a replace. And you can do, it'll just basically go to any of the anything it's selected and just rename it. There's also a padding here, so you can also do things like finding stuff and just replace that and just call it say like pad, and then it'll pad that right there. Now something that it also has there is also a keep in local space. So if I, for example, have a padding in here, if I don't have this on and I replace the pad 2 with new pad, when I pad it will take it out of the group there. But if I leave it with the checkbox on, then it will keep it inside of the current group it has there. There's also reset attributes here. So for example here I have this one. I have a one called test, so I can change this to 3. I'll find whatever one's the name here into the channel box and then change to that. It also has like they kind of translates, rotates, or scales, so you can reset like that. I do need to change it where you can like do like custom attributes and then just doing the regular kind of like quick like translate. 'Cause now it kind of does both of them. You may not want that to happen. There's also an add attributes. It also is made to a separate window so I could kind of work on its own. I didn't have to clutter my main one. Also, just kind of interesting for me to learn. So I have this where all 6 of these are all linked together. Also, when you cycle through these text boxes will either be disabled based on like what you don't need. So if like a enumerated one, you don't, if you're not, unless enumerated, you don't obviously need it. But if you need it, it will turn on, but you don't have these default values or max or minimums. The same goes for like floats, integer, and stuff, and boolean. I have a quick clear all field is also a quick set field. So set that. I'll just call it bool, and then create attribute, and it'll work for all of these. So vector, int, string. Also, this is my identification. I know I realize that when you do a string, it actually kind of hides it, so I'm not exactly sure what it's used for. It does make it, but it's not shown in the channel box. I guess it's kind of hidden, put off in its own place. But I guess I'll take its word for it and just add it in just for the heck of it. Also enumerated there. I can also add my own like hi there, go away, take me, and I'll call it num2. Hi there, and then I have go away, take me. Okay, rigging. I have my quick renaming for the bones right there, so I can say do center, hip, bind, and it will go through each one and add it on, and it always make sure the last one will be changed to a waist. Let's see, and it also does things like you can do things like FK, then do rename. I do need that option where you can choose where it would change the last one to like whatever you want to do it or leave it there. But for now, you can just quickly just go in and just rename that as you see fit. And it also supports going. I only have it set up where it only goes up to 100. I could make it more where you can say go to 1,000 joints and then it'll actually show you what I'm talking about. Where it will correctly, like, it'll add some zeros if it's below 10, but above 10, it will not, or add 10 or greater, it will not do that. But I don't have it set up for 100, so it's kind of hard coded. Not exactly hard coded, but it doesn't support up going to like it only goes supporting. So what I also have here is also an FK and IK quick script for an auto rigger part that I was trying out. I wasn't able to get any of this other stuff working fully. It's kind of like scattered around or incomplete. So for the FK right here, it will create the icons for you, which you can go back and colorize these or scale them any way you want. There's also a global scale here, so you can say set to 3. There's also like a find, so you can do like how that works? Test was it? Or was doing something like that. Let me see. What was it? Circle? CT hip? I can't remember exactly how my find and replace was working, but at least it will do that. And you can always kind of go back in, or at least I would do something like the quick rename, where I would do. I don't think I actually have to work. That's what I would do. I would do this. I would do the quick rename. I would do a quick replace. Do something like hip. Let's match the bones actually. And then it would match the bones correctly. CT hip 01, CT hip 01. And that's how I do it. And then also just to show off really quick the coloring up here, I can say change them all to red or all yellow, any other color I want. Let's delete that. So also I got an IK here that works. So now this one works just like an IK you could expect. For the ribbon spline, that was the two ribbon spline. I think it was something else, but I had these hard coded. I was trying to get it to work. I wasn't able to finish that. The hand wasn't able to work on that yet. Space switching and matching. I was following Jeremy Ernst's tutorial. I got a partial work where I could get the translates to space match correctly, but the rotations weren't properly working, so I wasn't able to get that fully done. Eyes are not done. Attributes, I have that over here in the separate tab here. I'll have to see about either moving this from here to over there or whatever. I think I was put here just as a quick test. So I got that working. Expressions, have not got that working yet. So icons and colors, just really standard stuff. Just ones that I've made over my time doing work. So like curved arrow, pole vectors made. Some of the scaling, a lot of the scaling, I need to go back and standardize all the scaling at one point. Like all my lettering here are all standardized, or all one single scale, all that stuff, all A through Z. This one was just me testing out using like a collapsible window, which I really like. I really need to go back and just kind of go through all my scripts here and put them all into collapsible windows. It makes it so much nicer, like having everything organized. I do eventually want to have this where I can just get them create the curve right here, and then I can just simply plug that into this, convert it to Python. I want to update right here. We'll actually start adding in like custom like buttons for all my new icons here. And then for the coloring, I do want to add in an RGB system where they can type in what RGB you want, and then it'll just do that custom color in case something's here you don't want or something's missing or whatever. Constraints, I did what you asked, where I put in the maintain offset. There's also a delete constraint, so you can, so for example right here, parent it right here. Then there's also a maintain offset. See it right here. Then there's also a delete constraint. Let's see. Let's do this. Delete constraint, so it moves over there, and then it deletes the constraint. I probably want to put some options where I probably want to do like freeze transforms or something, I guess. But other than that, that's basically everything for my Milestone 4. Alright, thank you for watching.